Hey guys, Mike Hiroshigami here again today, and I'm here to start my new series of videos, which is going to be about my top 10 tracks in each of the Mario Kart games that I've played. I'm going to start off with my Nintendo 64 list for two reasons. One, because this is the first Mario Kart game I ever played, so it has that nostalgic value to it, and also because the other two games I played are Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Wii, and I've completed all the stages on both of these, but I still have to decide exactly how I'm going to do my list, either by combining the new and retro tracks together or making two top 10s for each of those. I'm leaning towards just combining them together and maybe doing some honorable mentions with it, but that'll come again later. But without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and get into my top 10 tracks for Mario Kart 64. Coming in at number 10 is Koopa Troopa Beach. Koopa Troopa Beach is a very highly loved track in this series, and with good reason. It's a very good track. I made it on my top 10 for that reason. It's just only number 10 because of the other tracks that I have ahead of it. The stage still works well today. There's a couple awesome shortcuts. You know that infamous one where you can use the mushroom to go through the little tunnel out and cut off like probably a quarter of the track. But Koopa Troopa Beach has a nice little atmosphere, but playing it again, it's not quite as memorable as it used to be to me, but it's still a pretty awesome track. Coming in at number 9 is another fan favorite, and that is Toad's Turnpike. Now, Toad's Turnpike is still an awesome track, just like Koopa Troopa Beach. It's got vehicles in the middle of the road, you have to dodge them, all this kind of stuff, and it's really just got a really nice atmosphere to it. But again, it's not quite living up as much for me as some of the other tracks in this game have. There's some more that are just more creative for me than Toad's Turnpike necessarily. I mean, Toad's Turnpike is still creative. Obviously, you're on a road with dodging vehicles and trying to get in the first place and all that. It's still a nice track. I'm glad they brought it back with Mario Kart 8 too. So yeah, Toad's Turnpike, I'm going to put it at number 8. It's a great track, and I understand it being a lot of people's favorites. My number 8 spot is going to go to Royal Raceway. Now usually, I'm not the type of person to put these kind of, somewhat bland racetracks into my top 10 sort of list, but this one is different. This one is special because you can actually go off the road and explore the castle, and that's really the big reason why it's even in my top 10 at all. It's still a nice track. It works well. You have the big ramp to go down to the area where the castle is, and like I said, just having that castle area to explore, even though you're not going to win the race, if you go over there, is really cool, and that's why Royal Raceway is my number 8. Next in at number 7 is Rainbow Road. Now, you can see the theme here so far is that a lot of these tracks that I've been mentioning so far are fan favorites. And again, this one is another great track. But playing this track again, one thing I've noticed is that this course is really long for a course that is so plain. I mean, it's still beautiful. Everything, it's Rainbow Road. Everyone loves Rainbow Road, or at least some of them. But this one, it's got that one really cool shortcut where you can cut off like half the race, and that's pretty cool in that, right? It's a lot of luck involved into it, a lot of skill with it too. But Rainbow Road for me in this game is not quite as great as it is in other games, but it's still a great course, so I have to keep it at number 7 at least for that. Alright, coming in at number 6, we got Wario Stadium. Here's another one that a lot of people love, and again, another one that I love. Wario Stadium is a great track. It's a very memorable track that I remember even to this day before I was even replaying the game. Wario Stadium is just an awesome track. I love Wario stages in general. You're going to see more Wario stages in my future list, so you can be prepared for that. But Wario Stadium is one of the better ones, and there's a good reason that it's a lot of people's favorites, because this is a great stage. But again, it only comes in for me at number 6. My number 5 track is going to be DK's Jungle Parkway. And now we're getting into the stages that I really, really love. Not to say that I didn't love the ones before this, but this is where it really gets going. DK's Jungle Parkway for me is still a stage that I love to play on, both in the N64 version and in the remake that was on the Wii. DK's Jungle Parkway is a nice track. It's a creative track. It's got nice music to it. It's got the turns, everything. So I love it so much in the Wii too, because of the, the drifting and everything. It's so well polished in that course, and it works out wonderfully. DK's Jungle Parkway is a great track for me. I always would find out losing this race a lot of the time because I always wanted to jump on the cruise ship, and when you actually do succeed in jumping on it, you just kind of fall through it. So you can't really get there, but I always wanted to just jump on that cruise ship. It's a very memorable track, a track that I love, and it really is just a great track, and that's why it's coming in at number 5. Now, at number 4 is Yoshi Valley. This is a track that everyone seems to either love or hate, and for me this is the track that I love, or one of the tracks that I love. Yoshi Valley is a great track. I love the whole maze type of feeling in the game, and the fact that the game can't tell what place you're in until you actually finish. To me, that is pretty freaking awesome. There's been no course like this that I know of. Now maybe there is in some games that I haven't played, but I have not found another stage that's completely like this. Like I said, I really love that maze feeling. I really love that the computer can't keep track of where you are in this game until you finish, and that's why it's coming in at number 4. It's a great track, and it definitely is deserving of being a lot of people's favorites. Coming in at number 3 is Banshee Boardwalk. And I'm going to be totally honest with you right here. Banshee Boardwalk is not that creative when it comes to these sort of haunted stages. You're just mostly on a wooden bridge going around the track that sometimes and sometimes doesn't have rails. So why is it number 3? I can't totally explain this to you. I think a lot of it is really something where I love these sort of haunted stages. I love the dark atmosphere, and, just the haunting feeling of going through the stage. There's that one little part going through the building where the bats come out at you, and that's pretty cool. I like that. It's got some nice touches to it, and overall I really just love the dark feeling. So I can't totally explain why, but it's definitely my number 3. In at number 2 is my favorite track as far as creativity is concerned, and that is Bowser's Castle. This was like a really awesome course when I was younger, and it's still one that I really remember to this day. I love that it was brought back in the Wii, even though I do think they may have exceeded their limit on Bowser's Castles in that game. But this course itself is freaking awesome to me. I love the Bowser statue at the beginning. I love the thwomps, and just going through this castle itself, it really feels like it would be a castle for Bowser. It's an awesome course. I cannot recommend it enough, and that is why it's coming in at number 2. So, with this awesome course, what could possibly be number 1? Finally, at number 1, we have Calamari Desert. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you here. Desert stages are not usually my favorite stages. There will maybe be a couple more in this little series of videos, but I am not that fond of desert stages. And Calamari Desert, just as a course, really doesn't seem that special, I assume is what you're thinking. It's a pretty bland track. You mostly just go around the course, and you have to brake every once in a while for the train. But that train is why it's number 1. The reason this is number 1 overall is really just because of the atmosphere of the stage. I really feel like I'm in the West. I really love having to avoid this train. And something else I love is, getting the rest of the drivers behind me to get stuck behind the train when I've already passed it. And that's pretty freaking cool. It's an awesome course to do as a race, and awesome to do on time trials when you can just kind of go onto the track and just let the train keep hitting you over and over again. I don't know, but I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, the big reason that Calamari Desert is my favorite course in the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart 64 game is that it has the train, and that's freaking awesome. There we have it. That is my top 10 tracks in the Mario Kart 64 game. I know there are going to be some ones on this list that you probably don't agree with. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who disagree with my number 1 because it's another one of those tracks that you kind of either have to love or hate. But I hope you still like this list. I tried to do my best coming up with a list that was still relevant to me to this day, which is why I replayed the game again. There may be some iffy ones where I'm debating switching them up, but for the most part this is going to be how my top 10 looks definitively. If you like this video, give me a like, comment, subscribe to me, do what you feel like you need to do, and again, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm really hoping to get Mario Kart 8 soon because that game looks boss and I want to play it so bad. But again, this was my top 10 Mario Kart 64 tracks, and thank you for watching.
Congratulations!